Good afternoon, Dean Janhu, faculty, students, honored guests, friends, and families. I want to start off by saying welcome to the University of Michigan School of Dentistry White Coat Ceremony for the class of 2026. We are really happy that you could be here with us today in person to experience this inspirational event. My name is Samantha Shanklapur, and I am honored to represent the fourth-year dental students here today as their class president. I'd like to thank everyone for allowing me to organize and lead the ceremony today. It feels like just yesterday I walked out of my white coat ceremony in 2019. I'll never forget how I felt that day, looking out into the crowd, looking for my mom and my dad and my family, just watching me receive my white coat. D1s, today is a day that you will likely look back on and cherish for the rest of your lives. All of those hours that you spent studying for the DAT, all of those volunteer and shadowing opportunities that you attended to learn what this is all about. Your commitment to dentistry has just begun, but dental school will surely show you how dedicated you might be. This might be the first time you're stepping into something that you've never done before, and the experience can be quite nerve-wracking. I know before dental school, I had experience working with patients as a chairside assistant, like many of my classmates, but never was I the one actually administering treatment on a patient. The first time you sit down with your patient and have a real live person looking back at you, it's not just your sim lab mannequin that you drew eyes on. It's a person, and they're filled with various emotions and needs, and you're there to serve that. Sometimes things will go to plan, sometimes they won't. But those first moments as a dental student administering care to a patient is worth all those late night studying. It's worth the 30 credits a semester, worth the long days where you sit there with classmates and wonder how on earth you're just gonna remember all of these nerves and innervations. When you put in the good work, good if not great things will come of it. The white coat ceremony today is in recognition of all that you have accomplished up to this point and of your commitment to becoming an exceptional healthcare provider, a doctor of dental surgery. Each of us come from different backgrounds or journeys to get here and accept these coats today. We have students who have just completed their bachelor's or master's degree, students who have took time off in between studying to pursue other careers or missions, students that have families that have moved here with them to help support their goals and dreams. However, you all now have one thing in common that you should remember as you have good days and bad days throughout school. You are all striving to reach the same goal of being a compassionate, competent, and curious oral health care provider. Parents, family, and friends, you have a role in this too. You may have already found yourself, and you likely will find yourself, as a lifeline and ally for these students throughout their time in dental school. As much as this day is to celebrate and honor our incoming D1 students, they really are a reflection of their support system around them, which is you. These next 4 years are going to be filled with a lot of different emotions. Days where we leave feeling excited. Mom, I just designed my first crown in lab. To days where we feel defeated. Dad, that patient canceled on me again, and I could have used that time to study. And then days where you might have no idea just what we're talking about, but you'll smile and nod your head and say, honey, I'm so proud of you. To the class of 2026, wear these white coats proudly and with the integrity and professionalism they represent. While they are only a symbol of the work you'll do and care you'll provide, they are awarded to those who have the best of intentions to do good in them, to follow our ADA code of ethics, to smile and represent our profession with compassion and honesty. Enjoy the next 4 years because they will be up before you know it. During my D1 year, the class president that stood here at this podium said the following words: "The days go by slow, but the weeks go by fast." And I couldn't agree with that more now that my white coat ceremony has come and gone, but I can express my gratitude for those who have helped guide the path for me. Be proud of where you came from, be proud of who you are, and be proud that wherever you'll go blue. Thank you. Thank you. So as students here at Michigan, one of our sayings is that we expect respect. We were recently fortunate enough to acquire a new interim dean who leads by example in this department. She respects and welcomes the students' thoughts and opinions and exemplifies the expectations that we hold ourselves to as dental students. When Dr. Jan Hu was named interim dean of the School of Dentistry in 2022, she became the 15th leader of this school since its founding in 1875, and the second woman to hold the position. She was recently appointed this position after serving as the chair of the Department of Biologic and Material Sciences and Prosthodontics since 2018. Dr. Hu received her Bachelor of Dental Surgery degree from National Taiwan University in 1985, and 3 years later, she received a specialty certificate in pediatric dentistry from the University of Southern California. While at USC, Dr. Hu earned a PhD in craniofacial biology, completed a postdoctoral fellowship in craniofacial molecular biology, and held the position of clinical assistant professor. She joined the School of Dentistry as an associate professor with tenure in 2002. In 2005, she was named the director of pediatric dentistry, and in 2006 was promoted to full professor. In May of this year, Dr. Hu was appointed interim dean of our school, and we are so pleased to have her here with us today to help celebrate this milestone. Please welcome Dean Dr. Jan Hu.
Good afternoon, class of 2026, and special greetings to parents, grandparents, spouses, family members, and friends, and our special guests and speakers of this afternoon who can join us for this white coat ceremony. Today, we celebrate the outstanding accomplishment that have brought our new class of DDS students to our School of Dentistry. Today, we also look forward to the promise of even greater success to come for each of you during your dental school years and beyond. We know from the admissions process that students in the class of 2026 have stellar academic credentials, overachieving extracurricular records, impressive community service, and winning personalities. We also know that they have had help along the way. It would have been difficult, if not impossible, for our students to reach this day without many kinds of support from parents, family, friends, educators, and others who had consistently guided them through the process. So students, let's take a moment to applaud the members of your support network who have joined you today. This ceremony marks the beginning of a professional journey that will be life-changing. You are now part of a select group of students who have chosen and who have been chosen to attend the University of Michigan School of Dentistry. From the very beginning in 1875, when the school was founded, the dental school has been home to professionals with high standards, foresight, commitment, and integrity. It has been a place for educators, administrators, and students who aren't simply followers. Instead, they sought to lead the development of dentistry from its early days, even before it was a profession. Our remarkable and visionary leaders laid the foundation not just for the school you see today, but also for the entire profession of dentistry. Our founding leaders would be quite proud to see all of you who have signed on to continue their legacy and support our mission of advancing health through education, service, research, and diversity and discovery. In a few minutes, when you slip on your white coats, it will signify that you have joined the school's long-standing commitment to excellence. Your name on the front represents the level of dedication, expertise, and pride that each of you will bring to every interactions you have at school with your faculty, staff, your classmates, and other students. The Dentistry logo represents the excellence of both the University of Michigan and the School of Dentistry. It says that you are the latest in a long line of healthcare professionals who will accept only the best for your patients and for the profession of dentistry. Class of 2026. In the first 2 months, you are already developing a camaraderie with your classmates and making friends. You may have been to Ann Arbor many times, or you may have only heard of the University of Michigan before and never been here in the city. No matter where you are from, you bring a wonderful diversity of life experiences, knowledge, and perspectives to this common group that will forever be called the University of Michigan School of Dentistry Class of 2026. So learn from each other, lean on each other, and cherish each other. Your 4 years will go by in a blink of an eye. You will look back on these 4 years with a mixture of satisfaction at having mastered a challenging goal and of fondness for those who shared the journey with you, the professors who coached you, and the classmates who sustained you. In the 4 years until you cross this very same stage for graduation, stay focused on your studies, but seek out new experiences. Find out what you really like, but do so by expanding your comfort zone. Stay dedicated to dentistry, but strive to make it better than you found it. And that's what leaders do. In closing, I would like to express appreciation to the D4 class of 2023 for coordinating this event with the assistance of the Office of Academic Affairs, and in particular to Associate Dean for Students Renee Duff and Admissions Director Patty Catcher and their teams who helped put this class of 2026 together. I congratulate all of you on reaching this point along your career path. And again, thank everyone who has helped the class get to where they are today. Our faculty, staff, and distinguished alumni wish you great success in the months and years ahead. Wear your white coat with professionalism and pride. Work hard, have fun, and forever go blue.
As you see, there might be a theme here. So thank you so much, Dr. Hu. It is my pleasure now to introduce our keynote speaker, the president of the Michigan Dental Association, Dr. Vincent Benevena. Dr. Vince Benevena of Okemos is an exemplary volunteer with an impressive record of service and commitment to patient care. As president of the MDA, he brings an equally strong history of leadership within organized dentistry. At the MDA, he has served on the Committee on Annual Session, as a chair of the Committee on Peer Review of Dental Care, as a member of the Committee on Peer Review of Oral Surgery, and on the MDA Board of Trustees, most recently as president-elect. He frequently presents continuing education courses for the MDA on opioid addiction, and he is also the past secretary, treasurer, vice president, and president-elect of the Central District Dental Society. Dr. Benevena earned his DDS degree from the University of Michigan School of Dentistry and is board certified in oral and maxillofacial surgery. He served as president of the Michigan Society of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, is currently serving as treasurer on the Council on Michigan Dental Specialties, is a diplomat of the American Board of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery, and a fellow of the American College of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons. His commitment to patient care is equally impressive. Dr. Benevena has been the oral surgery lead, a committee member, and treatment provider for every Michigan Mission of Mercy program. He is a donated dental services volunteer, a member of the Sparrow Hospital Cleft Palate Team, and served as member and subcommittee chair on Governor Rick Snyder's Prescription Drug and Opioid Addiction Commission. It is with great pleasure that I welcome Dr. Vince Benevena.
Thank you, Samantha, for that wonderful introduction. Listening to that introduction, it's hard to believe that I've done all that stuff since 1986 when I sat in your spot. Actually, I'd be lying because we didn't have a white coat ceremony. We just kind of got thrown into it, you know. But if you could just close your eyes for a quick second, this is how I kind of, you know, when they asked me to be the keynote speaker, I'm not like a really excited person when I have to speak, but I kind of close my eyes and I work through it, and like right now I'm up north at my cottage getting my fishing boat ready to go out, and I'm not really here. But you should think about the next time your butts are going to be in those seats. You're going to be graduating in 2026, right? So you guys make me so happy to look at you. It's inspiring. Congratulations, University of Michigan Dental School graduation class of 2026 on the start of your professional career in dentistry. You worked hard to get to this point and have become D1 students in the best dental school in the United States. Don't take that for granted. I applaud your achievement. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for inviting me to speak to you today at your white coat ceremony. I'm truly honored. In its basic sense, this ceremony symbolizes a rite of passage. Today, you'll be getting the secret handshake and the password. But I think this quote from a recent medical school grad that I found sums it up. She said, "To me, white coat symbolizes my commitment to serving humanity for the rest of my life and the opportunity I have to make real change in this world." Dejavi Gowda, University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine, class of 2020. That's inspiring. I'm excited to talk to you today, and I'm happy to be back at my alma mater. I graduated from 1990 from dental school here. It was a great time in my life, being a dental student. I also spent my undergrad years here. Spoiler alert, I never graduated. I don't know what your path was to gain admission to this fine school, but let me tell you a little bit about mine. And by the way, Lori McCauley, the past dean of the dental school, told me, "Vince, that would never work today." So this is how I got into dental school. So in organic chemistry undergrad, I think it was my third year, undergrad, end of third year, maybe beginning of fourth year. A friend of mine, Joe Malfitano, sat across our organic lab bench from me, and we knew each other a little bit and knew that we were applying to dental school. And one day he came in and he had his letter of acceptance to University of Michigan. And I only had my letter of acceptance from Indiana, Ohio State, Northwestern, UAD. And I was like, wait a minute. So After organic chem, I walked down to the dental school, walked right into Assistant Dean Strachan's office. He was the admissions dean, unannounced, in my jeans and cowboy boots. And I said, I want to talk to Dr. Strachan. And the secretary said, well, what's this about? I said, well, I think there's a problem with my application. So she said, okay, I think he's available. So I went in and talked to him, and I said, Dr. Strachan, there's a problem. Joe Amalfitano, he got in. I didn't get my letter yet. I'm wondering when mine's going to come. He said, well, Vince, why do you think that is? And I said, well, I think Joe's got better grades than me, but I'm pretty sure I killed the DAT. And he goes, well, you're right. He goes, well, come back and see me in a couple weeks. He said, we're still considering you, so it's not a done deal. Come back and see me in a couple weeks. And 2 weeks to the day, walked right back into his office. And I said, Dr. Strachan, what's a good word? And he said, well, you're not in yet. We're still considering you, though. I said, what do I got to do? He goes, well, I'll make you a deal. He goes, Vince, you haven't shown that you can get a 3.5 here yet in undergrad. If you get a 3.5 next semester, I'll let you into dental school. That was 2 days before drop ad ended. I had to make a decision. Am I going to graduate from undergrad, or am I going to go to the University of Michigan Dental School? Well, I dropped P-Chem, analytical, a bunch of other, tough classes. I took clouds and weather, astronomy, macro econ, and ceramics at the dental school. When I tell the story, I usually have they asked us to make a shoe, and I made this duck boot. We wore duck boots back then, and in the winter. So I made this duck boot. It was about this big, and it was in the display case at the art school for a long time. And I ended up with an A+ in that class. It was an awesome class. It was on North Campus. Taking the bus. So I got my report card, skin of my teeth, 3.5. Walked into Strachan's office. He goes, yeah, I know, you're in. So I don't have an undergrad degree from Michigan, but I do have a dental degree. So that's my story. I got more stories, but I don't have time. So if you wondered if this dental school is truly the best, you only have to graduate and then attend a graduate program at another institution, as I did, and compare your skills to all the residents. After I received my dental degree here, I did a GPR in Brooklyn, New York at Maimonides Hospital. And I had 2 co-residents. One graduated from Tufts, and the other graduated from Columbia Dental School. Those aren't like low-level schools, right? But when I was there, it only took a couple of days to tell that didactically and clinically, I was way ahead of them. So when you're here, you'll never know that because you have nothing to compare it to. But I can tell you, you are at the best dental school, and you will get a hell of an education. When I came here for commencement in May of this year for dental school class of 2022, I arrived early to stop into the dental school unannounced, as I usually do. And I asked for a tour, and they were kind enough to give me a tour of the new dental school. When I went to dental school, I was in the new dental school. Now you're at the new dental school. They just keep building in that place. I don't know how they have enough room. You'll be learning dentistry in the most modern, cutting-edge facility in the nation. You have the best instructors and staff available. Take advantage of it. Respect your instructors. Be kind to your classmates, and especially be kind to your patients. Speaking of patients, I'm going to steal a quote from Dr. Brendan Kruger. He's a 2022 dental school grad from University of Detroit Mercy. He said at his commencement, "Your patients want to know how much you care and don't care how much you know." Think about that. You are now in the people business. Respect diversity, treat patients equitably, as we know that not everybody looks or thinks alike. The MDA also has words to live by. I have to put in a plug for the MDA because I'm the president. I want you to join. The MDA has a vision statement. It's stated as, the mission is helping member dentists succeed, okay? The vision is Michigan's Oral Health Authority dedicated to the public and the profession. And then our values, guided by integrity and ethics, committed to the improvement of the public's overall health. We believe oral health is integral to the overall health. We believe in an inclusive environment that embraces diversity. We believe the profession of dentistry and the oral health team must be led by dentists to ensure the safety of the public. And we believe in lifelong learning. I personally believe that it is because of our mission, vision, and values that dentistry is the most trusted profession by the public. It's your responsibility to make sure that continues. So as the president of the MDA, I feel obligated to touch on some of the benefits of membership as a student and as a new dentist once you graduate. I would also like to brag a bit about the Michigan Dental Association. The Michigan Dental Association just received 2 awards from the American Dental Association. The first award was for conversion of the highest number of non-member women dentists to membership compared to states of our similar size. The second award was for the most improved 5-year market share for our size. Our market share is about 72%. I don't know if you think that's a big number, but it's huge. It's way better than the medical doctors have. They're below 50. The ADA is kind of freaking out right now because their market share is projected to go below 50% in the next few years. Why is that? It's because old guys like me are retiring, and young people like you are taking your free year of membership and then not re-upping your membership after that. So what are we doing? We're trying to make the MDA relevant to you and engage you, offer things to you that will help you to retain you as members, because your voice is super important to guide our profession. When I wrote this today, I didn't write it today, well, almost today, last night. When I wrote this, I called a friend of mine, Lauren Vanderhoof, who's on our board of trustees. She's the youngest and most newly graduated dentist on our board. And she gave me some insight and kind of coached me on what to say. So, young people are super important with the life of our organization. We need you. We need you as leaders. You are the future of the MDA. Consider becoming an active member of this wonderful organization. Give your generation the proper voice it deserves in our profession. The MDA is inclusive to all members, no matter who they are or where they work. We are member-driven, and without engaged members, we will no longer be relevant. So I have a laundry list of things that the MDA offers. You can just go online and look at them because they told me I only have 5 minutes to talk. But we do offer cool things like mentorship, free CE for you, lunch and learns. We partner with ASDA. We have scholarships through the MDA Foundation, leadership development. You get our journal, free malpractice insurance when you graduate for a year. Besides CE and other top benefits cited by members, the biggest benefit is advocacy. It's your voice, it's our voice, it's dentistry's voice. Currently, the MDA is advocating Michigan legislature on issues like student debt relief, teledentistry, Medicaid reform, access to care, including donated dental services program, licensing. This is a cool one. I'm going to talk about this a little bit. Licensing, including reform to eliminate the clinical portion of the dental licensing exam. Wouldn't that be cool if you didn't have to take a clinical licensing exam? Yeah. Lori McCauley was convinced that you guys take the clinical part of that exam every day in dental school. You don't need an exam once you're done. I'm convinced of the same. I eliminated the specialty licensing exam in Michigan while I was president of the Michigan Society of Oral Surgeons. There's no more orthodontic exam, prosthodontic exam, oral surgery exam, perio exam. There's no specialty exam in Michigan. Welcome to Michigan. Okay. So here's another story. The clinical license exam is so stressful. How stressful is it? When I took it, I was taking my denture part of the exam. You guys don't have to do that anymore, I don't think, but denture. You have to take an impression, make a denture, wax it up, put teeth on it. This little old lady was my patient. She was about 80 years old. After I took her impression, she had to go to the bathroom. I walked her politely to the bathroom and I said, "I'll see you when you're done." It's a timed exam. I kept looking at my watch. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I was freaking out. I'm not going to be done. I'm going to fail. So I went to the bathroom and knocked on the door. I'm like, "Mrs. Jones, are you okay in there?" She's like, "I'm stuck in the stall. The door's locked and I can't get out. Help me." So I was like, "I'm coming in." I went into that bathroom, crawled under the stall, opened that door and let her out. Finished my board exam. Sometimes you got to do things that you don't really want to do to get through dental school. But trust me, it's worth it. Okay? I recently testified on behalf of the Michigan Dental Association in front of the House Senate Appropriations Committee and the House and Senate Appropriations Committee. I had to do it twice, a couple weeks apart. Why? Why did I do this? Because Gretchen Whitmer wants to throw a lot of money at dentistry this year, and we wanted a piece of it. So I testified for increased adult Medicaid funding, increased pediatric hospital case funding, increased funding for healthy kids dental program in Michigan, and the donated dental services program in Michigan. I just got word from our lobbyist, Bill Sullivan, that we didn't get a full win, but we got a win. All of those programs will be funded, some of them more, and some of them to the level that they've been funded to, but none of them have been cut. So it's huge. Why did I do that? Because we need to help these vulnerable populations. We need to help them and be their voice. Is that a call for me? Other importance from the offerings from the MDA include the LEAD program, leadership program, to develop leadership pipeline to fill committee and board positions within the MDA and component dental societies. The Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, from which the MDA gave grants of $6,000 each to U of M and University of Detroit, Michigan, to University of Detroit Mercy, to their DEI programs. the MDA Health and Wellbeing Program to help member and non-member dentists and families and staff with mental health issues like addiction, anxiety, and depression. We have a huge social media presence and the MDA Connection app. So no matter what facet of dentistry you choose, be it general, private practice, dental specialist, academician, researcher, large group practice, DSO, the MDA will be there to help and have your back. I promise you. In closing, I must say that for me, the best experience I had as a dentist was participating in all the MDA Missions of Mercy and an Iowa Mission of Mercy. Being a donated dental services provider and doing a dental mission to Honduras. When you do that stuff, you'll come home and hug your family and your kids and just realize how well you have it. And if you can share that, you've arrived. Another highlight, I would say, has been being a member of numerous MDA committees and the Board of Trustees, and now as president of the MDA. I also really enjoy mentoring pre-dental students from MSU and U of M that shadow in my office, and you guys are always welcome to stop in my office. I'd be glad to have you for a day or a week. I encourage students to constantly pursue a career in dentistry because you can make a great living at it, and it's emotionally gratifying and keeps me excited about going to the office every day. Good luck to all of you. I hope to see you in leadership positions in your class, your community, your profession, and the MDA. Remember, you are the leaders and best. Go Blue.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vince Benevena. At this time, we will begin the presentation of the Whitecoats to our dental class of 2026. The students will be dismissed by row and line up on the right side of the stage. Students, once you hear your name, please walk on stage. We have it marked here to receive your white coat. My D4 Vice President, Rory Petrick, will also be reading off some names, and I think we'll begin with him.
Rafe Ahmed. Elena Ali. Philip Alcori. Da Yun Beck. Laura Bazzi. Christopher Becker. James Bennett. Geraldine Berkmeyer. Sonia Bakad. Matthew Belkey. Jacob Bomarito. Javier Bonamigo. Blake Bordilove. Charlotte Borland. Evans Brown. Parker Bundy. Madeline Cardinal. Braden Cataldo. Sarah Cawthon. Amy Chang. Anna Chung. Eunice Choi. Bryce Coleman. Gregory Crump. Jill Daftori. Erica Danella. Jordan DeVoe. Samantha Dial.
Jonathan Doherty. Gage Duncan. Alexandra Amy. Burhan Eskinder. Congratulations. Monica Fan. Mela Fobella. Rohan Gade. Joshua Gale. Anamika Gotham. Straight out. Jacob Gill. Kelsey Gruber. Inshal Haq. Laura Harp. Vivian Harbor. Diana Haas. Nina Shu. Jesse Hua. Zara Hussein. Sahar Jelin Young. Adam Jazzerly. Emily Jang. Sarah Job. Christina Jones. Carmen Ketchy. Laurel Kazazian. Ibrahim Khan. Nikta Carey. Nathan Koo. Jaeun Kim. Asia Kirk.
Andrew Klump. Philip Cruiser. Kaveri Krishnamurthy. Kennedy Kuffner. Fatima Kermasha. Matthew Lay. Justin Lee. Zachary Lee. Dan Yang Lee. Blake Madalena. Kylie Mandigo. Hood Mashra. Daniel McGee. Ryan McLean. Brennan Metzler. Chancellor Mitchell. Caitlin Moore. Maya Morad. Mariah Muchaham. Megan Pateki. I apologize. That was Megan Packer. We need another round of applause for her. That's on me. Deborah Pateki. Bridget Fung. Audrey Polk. Kathleen Tashnik. Abigail Puckett. Sharada Ramnanth.
Zachary Reibschlager. Natalie Rivera. Adam Romand. Madeline Shank. Sonali Sharma. Amin Cheyenne. Xiaoye Shi. Alexis Showalter. Shruti Sivakumar. Brendan Song. Samita Sankara. Nicole Sikora. Athena Veronica Tajanera. Yaya Tajor. Hamad Tampton. Maxine Taylor. Maria Thanasis. Silvana Uribe Luzardo. Caleb Van Blankenstein. Paul Verson. Ainsley Woodward Jr. Christopher Shao. And last but not least, Andrew Zip.
Student doctors, please give yourselves a round of applause. My name is Rory Petrick. I'm the class of 2023 Vice President. At this time, I would like to ask the class of 2026 to please rise and repeat the oath of aspiring dentists found on the back of your program. Repeat each phrase after me. I will work with my peers to establish an atmosphere of honesty and collegiality, thereby fostering collaborative learning. I will not let vanity or greed interfere with doing what is just and right. I will not let vanity or greed interfere with doing what is just and right. I will administer sound ethical judgment in the treatment of my patients. I will administer sound ethical judgment in the treatment of my patients. I will always be mindful that my patient is a human being, and with that in mind, seek the treatment options that promote my patient's well-being. I will always be mindful that my patient is a human being, and with that in mind, seek the treatment options that promote my patient's well-being. I will practice prevention and continue to learn the latest methods of treatment in order to give my patients the best possible care and confidence in my ability. I will practice prevention and continue to learn the latest methods of treatment in order to give my patients the best possible care and confidence in my ability. I will have the courage to admit when I do not know and to defer when necessary. I will have the courage to admit when I do not know and to defer when necessary. I vow to exemplify the highest standard of care. I will, at all times, act in an ethical manner and never abuse the privileges I have been granted. I will remember that I represent a noble class of skilled professionals and will never willingly tarnish their dignity. I vow to exemplify the highest standards of care. I will, at all times, act in an ethical manner and never abuse the privileges I have been granted. I will remember that I represent a noble class of skilled professionals and will never willingly tarnish their dignity. Please be seated. Continuing with the program, I now have the pleasure to introduce to you all Dr. Gary Boyner. Dr. Gary Boyner has been a general dentistry practitioner for 32 years in Lincoln Park, Michigan, after graduating with his DDS from the University of Detroit Mercy in 1990. He is currently a clinical assistant professor at UDM and also serves on the Dental Admissions Committee and is a dental ethics and evidence-based dentistry facilitator. He is a member of the American Dental Association, Michigan Dental Association, Academy of General Dentistry, American Dental Education Association, Macomb Dental Society, and excuse if I mispronounce this, Psi Omega Fraternity. In 2015, Dr. Boyner received the Academy of General Dentistry Fellowship Award and the AGD Distinguished Service Award in 2018. He currently serves as the president of the Michigan Academy of General Dentistry, and we are all pleased to have him with us tonight. Please help me in welcoming Dr. Gary Boyner.
My hands are hurting from all the clapping, Dr. James. You got any opioids? Got any opioids for me? I want to numb it. There was a video back in the day with a couple of comedians, Tim Conway and Harvey Korman, and he accidentally numbed his hands. He walked around like this as a dentist. Well, I want to welcome you into the profession. It's a professional career, and also is a profession of lifelong learning. Ooh. He came up here with a heavy book. Now he's telling us about lifelong learning. I'm a little bit out of my domain here. I usually like to walk around when I'm addressing my class, so I have to stand in one spot. It kind of bothers me a little, but yes, it's lifelong learning. And I think it's the best profession in the world. And I'm glad that I became a dentist. And it's very rewarding. And I know that it would be rewarding for you. But it depends on what you put into it. At the time, I didn't think that I would have to put as much as I had put in or have put into it in order to get to where I am, but I did. But the rewards are great. The students at the school always ask me, Dr. Boyner, how come you're always so happy? And I always tell them, this is my standard answer year after year, I'm not married, I've never been married, and I don't have any children. And I laugh. So when I was preparing this speech, I thought to myself, well, you're all expecting an old guy to come up here and start reading off a list, a litany of things we do in the Academy of General Dentistry. So I talked to the students. I like to interact with them a lot. And they said, whatever you do, Dr. Boyner, don't do that. Tell them something that they don't know, that they don't have to look up online to find the answer to. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this in an unconventional manner. I'm not going to go up there and read off a list of what we do for you, what we don't do for you. But I'm going to do what's called a shameless plug, as Dr. Vince did, for www.agd.org, where you can find out what we do for you. I humbly ask you to look at this website. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is there. And as a bonus, there's a picture of me on the website. And you have my permission to scare little kids with it, especially at Halloween. When they say trick or treat, show them my picture. They'll run. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about 3 instances in my life that made an influence on me. Not necessarily dentally related, but influenced me in my life. They're very short. Don't panic. I'm in the unenviable position here, along with Dr. Harris and Dr. Esther, of being in the anticlimactic talk. You've got your coats. You took your oath. But the first instance is when I was 19 years old. And in those days, our family raised St. Bernards. Those are big dogs. I don't know if you know. Carry a cask of brandy underneath their neck, Swiss Alps, all that. People could see me from miles away, and my friends would see me. They'd stop, shoot the breeze with me. But in those days, too, when people were graduating from high school, they would paint their cars with funny sayings. They put pom-poms on, and they go around honking the horn, which I haven't seen in many, many years. Well, this time I got caught. I wasn't paying attention, and somebody was beeping behind me, so I stopped to greet them. Well, in this case, the car slowed down, and I was staring at 2 bare butts, one in the passenger side window and one in the back seat passenger side window. I was being mooned. So I was walking on a median, and they turned around, and they came back towards me. And in this case, the driver was giving me the finger, and there was another bare butt in the back seat staring at me again. These were all 4 young ladies. And yeah, they probably went to Michigan State, right? Actually, one of them did. She became an accountant. But anyways, what was written on this car was a dark blue 1971 Chevy Nova. People would kill for that car now. But what was written in bright pink, "The hell is over." I've never thought of education as being hell. I was 19 and I knew nothing, and they were a year younger than me and knew even less, if that's possible. If I gave everybody in this room a card and said, describe what hell is to you on it, we'd all have something different. But I never considered education to be hell. Dental school will be difficult, but you're going to earn a doctorate degree. And I said, earn. You have to earn it. It means something to be called doctor. The second instance was when I was applying for my graduate work at Wayne State University. And I can remember the professor's face, but I can't remember his name. And he asked me, if we admit you into this program, Gary, would you be committed? And I gave him some answer. I started bloviating, and he said, oh, hold on a minute. Let's make this simpler. Why don't you define involvement and commitment, and then compare the 2 words for me? And once again, I started blathering about something. He said, here, let me help you out. It's very easy. Think of yourself eating a breakfast of bacon and eggs, The chicken was involved and the pig was committed. And I never forgot that. I never had heard that way back when. Recently I've heard it a couple of times, but it always takes me back to that day, hearing that statement. And the third instance is when I was in dental school, and we had an instructor there. His name was Dr. Charles Cooper. At the dental school, there's one portrait of one faculty member, and it was him, and he deserved it. I had the privilege of learning under him. And one day he was standing by our chairs as we were preparing for our patients to come in, and he said to my friend, my best friend, who actually became an oral surgeon, and he said, "Fellas, what are you up to today?" And being the jokey guy that I always am, I said, "Dr. Cooper, we're just sitting here getting ready to be a great dentist like you." And he got this sad look on his face. He said, "Gary, if that's what you're trying to do here today, if that's what your goal is, then I failed in my job because you should be trying to be better than me." And I never forgot that either. My question to you is, are you involved or are you committed? This is it. This is step one, white coat ceremony. Like Dr. Vince said, we never had a white coat ceremony. In our first lecture, the lecturer looked at us and said, "Look to your right, look to your left, look to your right. One of these two people won't be here in a fortnight." That's 2 weeks. They were right. We lost a lot of classmates over the first 3 years. You have to be involved. You have to be committed, not involved, to what you're doing. Like I said when I first started talking, what you put into this profession, you will get out of it. We have a tendency to concentrate on technical aspects of our profession, but we have a tendency to forget the humanistic nature of it. I find this in the clinic all the time. Students treat their patient like a car. A car goes up on a hoist, you work on it. But this is a human being. You have to learn to look in the patient's eyes, listen to them, listen to what they're saying to you. When they pause, ask an open-ended question, telling them that gives them a clue that you're actually listening to them. The patient is not on the floor by your shoes. The patient is not in your computer screen on your cubicle counter. The patient is not in the cubicle next to you wondering what your classmates did last night or what they're going to do over the weekend. And the patient sure as heck isn't in your phone. I didn't make this up. This actually happens in the clinic. When you speak to people who are older than you, septuagenarians, octogenarians, you don't talk to them like you talk to your peers. You don't walk up to them and say, "Hey, Willie, what's happening, dude?" I look at the patient, I watch and listen to what you're saying, and I look at the horror on their face. Remember, you want to be a doctor, you want to be respected. You have to give respect in order to get it. Why am I telling you this now? Because now is the time to start. Now is the time to practice and set yourself apart from your peers in a positive way. If you do that, and if you follow what you read in this oath, you will be successful. The students ask me all the time, "Do you consider yourself successful, Dr. Boyner?" And I say, man, it's not really a fair question because most people say yes, they're successful. I say, ask the staff members that worked for me and ask the patients that I treated. They'll tell you if I'm successful or not. And I say, if you're asking me if I'm wealthy, because most of us think success equals wealth, well, you're wrong there too. Success, in my opinion, happens to do with happiness. Are you happy? I asked that question of a classmate of mine. I seen him at a CE class once, and I remembered his name. He didn't remember mine. So the first thing he says to me after I introduced myself, he says, look at the cases I've done. He starts showing me cases on the phone that he's done. I said, "Kevin, are you happy?" And he was shocked. He was dumbfounded. He didn't know how to answer me. And after he thought about it for a while, he said, "You know, you got me there. I'm on my 4th wife. I have 9 kids. I'm not happy." I know and I hope that speaking to you from my heart, like I did now, instead of sitting here giving you a list of things we do and don't, I hope that I can press upon you how you can be successful. I know you can. If I can do it, you can do it too. Unless you're from Ohio State, right? Then you don't have a clue, right? I want to thank you for letting me speak. I want to thank Dr. Hu and Samantha. And I wish you well in a very rewarding career. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Boyner. Our next speaker has been practicing dentistry since 1983 and has a track record that demonstrates a passionate and enthusiastic relationship with organized dentistry. Dr. Harris graduated top of his class from the University of Detroit Mercy and was a member of OKU, the National Dental Honor Society, Delta Sigma Dental Fraternity, and is a lifelong member of the Detroit District Dental Society and Michigan Dental Association. He currently serves on the Peer Review Ethics Committee for the Michigan Dental Association as well. Dr. Harris is a fellow of the Pierre Fauchard Academy, American College of Dentists, and the International College of Dentists, serving as regent for Michigan and Wisconsin. He just recently retired from private practice after 39 years in Farmington Hills, and he is enjoying spending time with his wife and grandchildren. It is with great pleasure that I welcome Dr. Harris.
Wow, thank you for that kind introduction. I guess I can go to page 2 here now. Well, good afternoon, class of 2026. My name is Dr. Stephen Harris, and as a general dentist, I practiced in Farmington, Livonia area. I can tell you firsthand how tremendous this profession that you're embarking upon is. It treated me very well, and it's going to treat you guys isn't generic, sorry about that, just as well, I'm sure. Okay, I am the regent of District 9, which comprises of Michigan and Wisconsin, of the International College of Dentists. On behalf of the College of Dentists, I'd like to congratulate you on being accepted to the University of Michigan School of Dentistry and welcome you to the amazing and awesome profession of dentistry. As a UAD dental school grad and an MSU undergrad, as a Sparty, I never envisioned myself being invited to speak at the University of Michigan. I'm afraid to ask for a go green because whoa, there we go. I was afraid that you would file out like those idiot med students did last week. Well, I guess just this once I can say, can I have a go blue? All right. And while I'm on the subject of congratulations, we should not forget to thank your parents or perhaps your spouse and your entire family for their support and encouragement, their love, and of course, their checkbook. Just like a child, it takes a village to raise a dentist. The International College of Dentists is the preeminent worldwide honorary association organization for outstanding dentists who have demonstrated concern for their communities and the profession by serving others with leadership, integrity, and ethical behavior. We are a global organization of dentists from 130 countries, started 100 years ago by Drs. Odafe and Nakamura, person out of United States and Japan who wanted to collaborate, who wanted to pass knowledge of the profession of dentistry amongst all the world dentists. And so it's grown leaps and bounds. The ICD recognizes our colleagues with fellowship who are active contributors in leadership, in scholarship, and service to the dental profession and their communities. The ICD is kind of like the National Honor Society for dentists. Many of your dental school instructors, including your past dean, Dr. McCauley, Dr. Vince, are ICD fellows. One of the things we do to sponsor these white coat ceremonies at the various dental schools around the country is a way to welcome all of you. I'd like to share some thoughts and advice with you of what I've learned over now 39 years practicing dentistry. It's hard to believe it's been 39 years. How can that be possible? I don't know. Dentistry is awesome, like I said. It's hard work, but it's also incredibly rewarding, as everybody said. Not only financially and professionally rewarding, but also personally and spiritually fulfilling and rewarding. One thing that I have never bargained for as a student was how much richer my life was to become because of the many relationships I've been blessed and had the privilege to develop with the patients in my practice and community. I just didn't realize how much I meant to my patients until I announced my retirement last month. I still get cards, and when I pop my head into the office, they treat me like a goofy celebrity. The hugs, the tears, they're heartfelt, and they do hit you, kind of like tugs at your at your heartstrings as much. It's dentistry is an emotional, it's an essential part of life. It's emotional and has the power and you have the power to change people's lives. So I look forward to all of you experiencing the joy and appreciation patients will have for you. Dentistry is an awesome responsibility. As dentists, you'll be entrusted by your patients for the care of their health, their mouths, one of the most delicate and sensitive areas in the entire body. Oh, and talk about invading people's personal space. We get right in there. So it's up close and personal. Treat everyone with dignity, compassion, and always offer them your best. You follow the golden rule, do unto others as you would have done to you, and any thoughts of implicit bias won't apply to you. You soon will find out that the University of Michigan School of Dentistry is truly one of the leaders and best, one of the greatest dental schools in the world. This will also be some of the more challenging times in your life. Try to remember that the rigors of this place serve to prepare you for your future. I remember asking one of my toughest dental school instructors later in my career as I taught along with him at UAD. I asked him, hey, why did you always make us have to repeat the denture impressions that we came in to have evaluated, even if it was a great one? He looked at me and said, Steve, how many dentures did you have to do to graduate? And I said, 3 sets. He goes, do you think you get good doing anything just 3 times? So, yeah, I guess there was method to his madness, but as a student, yeah, I thought it sucked. Believe me, it's a real tough world out there, and the challenges of this dental school will serve to help prepare you for what lies ahead. If it was easy, anybody could be a dentist. One final thought, don't forget to have some fun, at least once in a while. While at this school, you will form many lifelong friendships that'll last the test of time. I know in my instance, my class of '83, we were a real tight-knit group. We had basketball games at Callahan Hall. We did a tournament amongst the dental school classes. we still, to this day, have an annual golf event, first Friday of June, and skill is not needed. We're there just to have fun, reminisce about our dental school days, laugh at the composite photo they took of all of our headshots. I don't know if they do that here, but you'll get a picture the faculty had mounted in each of their lounges and stuff, and it was a whole big composite picture of us. Well, somebody got a hold of one of those, and we passed that around at the golf event, just laughed like crazy. You know, look who still has hair. You know, oh yeah, his is a whole lot grayer than it used to be. You know, we just, you know, the fun, poking the jabs at each other, that's all part of the deal. So, enjoy being here. Develop the friendships. You guys are going to be colleagues. So enjoy it. I remember our dean's address at our first year assembly. We did assemblies back then. They didn't call it a white coat ceremony. We didn't get a coat. The first coat we got was for gross anatomy, and I don't think I ever wanted to see that coat as long as I lived after that class was done. But at the same time, our dean was very profound. He asked a simple question. He says, what do they call the student that graduates first in a class and the one that graduates last? Well, valedictorian and slacker are not the right answer. It's a doctor. He said, you know, you're both going to graduate as doctors. So you've made it. You're in the class. Be kind, help each other out, enjoy your time learning how to become a dental professional. He was very profound. So you are all in this together. Get football tickets. Don't sell them. Go to the games, basketball or hockey. Even yell, "Go Blue." Look into the dental fraternities. We talked about Psi Omega popped up. That's one of the dental fraternities. I'm part of the Delta Sigma Delta fraternity, which was founded here at U of M, which is the Alpha chapter back in 1882. I was a dental student going into my senior year, I guess it was, where we were here for the centennial celebration for that dental fraternity. It's co-ed, so, you know, fraternity, sorority, it's kind of a mixed word. But go to the frat parties, blow off some steam, seek out, develop, and enjoy the friendship and camaraderie of your fellow classmates. Join ASDA, become a leader, be a volunteer, enjoy this journey. So in closing, congratulations again, work hard, learn all you can, do your best, and I look forward to seeing some of you becoming fellows of the International College of Dentists. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. It is now my pleasure to introduce our closing speaker, Dr. Todd Esther. That's right. Dr. Esther is the Assistant Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and is a clinical assistant professor in the Department of Cardiology, Restorative, Material Science, and Endodontics. He is a proud alumnus of Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, and received both his doctorate of dental surgery and his specialty degree in endodontics from the University of Michigan School of Dentistry. Go Blue. In 2003, he became a founding partner of Renaissance Endodontics in Southfield, Michigan. Dr. Esther is a board member of the ADIA Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Committee and currently serves on the Education Committee of the National Dental Association. And he is a specialist member of the American Association of Endodontics and the Michigan Association of Endodontists. In 2019, he received the Adia Guys Award of Excellence on behalf of the School of Dentistry for his commitment to planning and delivering programs and services related to diversity issues for students, faculty, and staff. Dr. Esther is also the co-lead representing the School of Dentistry for the campus-wide strategic planning initiative for diversity and inclusion. It is with great pleasure that I welcome a friend, a mentor to so many, Dr. Esther.
Wow, class of 2026, you look good in those white coats. Thank you, and it's an honor to stand before you and close out so we can get to the reception, so I will be quick. But for some of you, this moment has been a part of your dreams for many years. For all of you, it epitomizes the hard work, the grit, the prayers, and commitment you dedicated to reaching your goal of becoming a student dentist. And my friends, you are here. You did it. Please give yourselves a big round of applause. Parents, family, and loved ones of our dear class of 2026, thank you for the significant role you have played in helping our students reach this momentous occasion. For without you, many of our class of 2026 students would not be who they are today. Could you all stand up and give your parents, family, partners, and loved ones with us today a big round of applause? Turn to them and thank them for what they have done, what they will do to make sure you reach your goal of becoming a dentist. We thank you so much. We salute you. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and leadership, Dean Hu, of our great dental school, I welcome you and wish you all the best on your navigation through the University of Michigan School of Dentistry. I'm grateful to the class of 2023 who invited me to share remarks today, and Rory, thank you for your generous introduction, sir. As we close out this program today, I just want to challenge you to continue to dream, to be bridge builders across difference, and never, never, ever quit. Throughout the challenges of our world that we have faced during the past 2 years of the twin pandemics, your vision, class of 2026, probably became a little cloudy in regards to your education and attainment of your goals. But you are here. You made it. See, no vision and you perish, no dream and you are lost. Your heart must ever cherish some faith at any cost, some hope, some dream to cling to, some rainbow in the sky, some melody to sing to, some service that is high. And it will take the same resilience, envisioning of your goals, your faith and your dedication and tenacity to matriculate through dental school and complete your degree. So please, don't ever stop dreaming. I began my journey at University of Michigan in 1990, a first-generation student from Morehouse College in Detroit, Michigan, public schools. It was in 1990, I was just like you, a first-year dental student, a D1. Now, over 30 years later, I stand before you today as a D32 with 4 degrees, an owner of an endodontic specialty dental practice, and as an assistant dean at your school, the University of Michigan, which just so happens to be one of the best dental schools in the entire world. And guess what? We happen to be the best because of you, our students. And so we're thankful. So if you ever doubt your abilities and future trajectory, please remember my story and say if Dr. Esther can do it, so can I. Gain strength from your amazing schoolmates, your faculty, your staff, and your leadership and say, if he or she can do it, so can I. When I was a D1 student, we did not have a white coat, as been stated by my colleagues on the stage. During that time, our curriculum was such that our first 2 years were predominantly basic science courses, and our 3rd and 4th year was when we were introduced to clinical comprehensive care. So we have evolved. We have evolved tremendously since that time, and your present-day curriculum is integrated such that your basic science courses are integrated with your clinical care, so your white coat will be put to really great use over these next 4 years. So I wrote these words that I'm going to share with you today with my classmates at our Student National Dental Association banquet when we were graduating in 1994. And I would like to share them with you as an encouragement to be builder of bridges. These remarks are entitled Reflections. It was August 1990 when most of us met for the very first time, sharing little between us except a common goal to become a dentist. Tirelessly, we struggled so that our matriculation would end in 1994. Well, here we are, each of us now sharing many experiences, some joyous and some unmentionable, but all representative of our maturity and dedication. When we entered the University of Michigan School of Dentistry, it was like we were entering a cocoon, devoid of light, but where we would be enlightened, educated, and mature to be oral health care professionals. Now that our metamorphosis is complete, we emerge from our cocoons stronger men and women. We are dentists ready to face the challenges that our profession and community will present. Now that we have entered the light, we must continue to climb and reach back so that the cycle may be interrupted and eventually broken to afford more young people from all backgrounds the opportunity to realize their dreams. This is not just our desire, it is our obligation. After May 8th, 1994, this once unified group of dental students will go several different ways. Let us not forget the good times we have shared, the victories we have won, and the lessons we have learned while in the cocoon. And I share that with you because my dental school classmates are now my business partners. They have been friends for my entire life. They are my family. You do know friends are the family that we choose for ourselves. So I encourage you to understand that iron does sharpen iron, and use your classmates to become all that you need to be to get to your success and your future. As you notice, family, our class is very diverse in every measure of diversity, as Dr. Hu shared. From regional diversity, from thought, from research experiences, from college and universities. 15 in the class are first generation. Our students represent over 52 colleges and universities across the United States. They are very diverse. And on our campus, diversity equals excellence. So you have the chance to be the most excellent class we have ever seen. I look forward to you achieving that goal. Last week as I closed, my classmate, Dr. Tawana Edwards, was here with me visiting my family from Chicago. I must share a story about, again, this effort of friends to become family, because Dr. Edwards is a friend and a family member for life. So my family member came to town to attend the Anita Baker concert. Did anybody go to Anita Baker last week and see her in Detroit? If you don't know Anita Baker, please download her on your playlist. She was the soundtrack for our dental school lives. And I can't wait to hear your soundtrack, class of 2026. But Dr. Edwards graduated in 1994, made her living as a professional model in Chicago. She was a first-generation graduate from Houston, Texas. But she also opened and managed programs for Chicago public school students in the city of Chicago. Dr. Edwards did so well, she retired at the age of 48, now spends her life in philanthropy, traveling across the world, and have a chance to share with students all across the country. She spoke to some of our S&D members last weekend, and she told them these words, and I must share them with you. She said that those 4 years of dental school, they seem long, but they are short as others, and they transformed my entire life. She said, please tell them, whatever they do, don't quit. When they get a B instead of an A on that exam, don't quit. When they find their patient may say to them, I don't like how you treat me today, get better at what you're doing, but still, don't quit. She said, whatever you do, if you don't quit, what you will become in this profession, you have no eyes to dream or even realize. You can't even see it now, but it'll be amazingly great. So I want to share with you as I close out words by Edgar A. Guest. Keep going and don't quit. So when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging, class of 2026, seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. It may be so near, but it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worse that you mustn't quit. So as you journey through these next 4 years, keep dreaming. Be bridge builders across difference in your class and our school. We need you. There's over 10,000 dental health profession shortage areas in our country, places where people do not have a dentist to serve 100 individuals in that area. We need you to go out and be great in whatever community you would choose to serve. And as you're serving, don't never, ever quit, and always go blue. Have a wonderful day.
I don't know if I can beat that. Thank you so much, Dr. Esther. So this concludes today's ceremony. I want to thank everybody again, especially family, friends, distinguished speakers. Thank you for traveling here today and celebrating with us. Just a few logistical announcements. We will first dismiss the class of 2026 to the steps outside in the front of the auditorium to take a picture with Dean Hu. At that time, we're asking all family and friends to stay back in the auditorium because we don't want the doors opening behind the photograph. So just stay back with us. We'll dismiss you once the photograph has been taken. D1s, you will be dismissed by row right now out of the auditorium, and you will meet us in the front. Okay? And then following photos, everyone is welcome to join us back at the dental school for refreshments in our Syndicuse atrium, and also feel free to stop by our white coat sales. There's lots of cool University of Michigan dentistry apparel and other goodies to check out. So thank you all very much. Have a wonderful evening, and go blue.